husband locked away in chains. 15 years of struggle and pain. Kids taken away by a faceless form. She rises up in the darkest storm. Her voice touches hearts in a broken state. Podcast waves spark their fight of fate. Brenda's strength like a blazing fire. Inspire the lost to lift their desire. Brenda's cry echoes loud and clear. A warrior's heart, no room for fear. Stand up tall, let no one bring you down. In her voice, their freedom found. Government shadows, secrets untold. Brenda's story, fierce and bold. She helps others break their chains. Together they rise from the ashes of pain. Her husband waits behind iron bars, but Brenda knows they'll reach the stars. Oh, her love Brenda used to walk these streets with pride. Her husband Chris, a patriot by her side. But the weight of the world came crashing down when the government tried to take the ground. They stole Chris away, said he was a threat, left Brenda alone with words of regret. CPS came knocking, took her children too, but Brenda stood tall like the sky so blue. Bring back Brenda, let her light shine bright. She's been trampled on, but she's ready to fight. Don't tread on her, she's got a heart so true. Through the darkest nights, she'll pull through. Every day she fights for what's been lost, pays the price, bears the cost. Whispers of hope through a podcast wave, telling her story, she'll be brave. In the heartland, they know her name, her struggle, her passion, her undying flame. She dreams of a day she'll hold them tight, Chris and the kids in the morning light. Bring back Brenda, let her light shine bright. She's been trampled on, but she's ready to fight. Don't tread on her, she's got a heart so true. Through the darkest nights, she'll pull through.
Hello? Okay, it happened. Yeah. You don't know how many times I'm sitting here saying hello. All right. Better late than never, as they say. Yeah, I was just I was putting my stuff out there because trying to send the the link to the people I've been connected with here on Facebook and stuff. And I just wanted to let you know I've been doing, because I went through, like most people would say, I've been through quite a few TikToks, and then my newest one is called Freedom. I think it's got 3 exclamation points. But I've been putting some stuff out there in regards to my travels, and also, just trying to keep up with, what's going on in the news. I mean, it's almost like, as far as anything to deal with the children and getting them back, I mean, those things is that you have to dig for. It doesn't seem like there's that many success stories, but I'm sure they're out there. I know Danielle has a success story, and that's one. Okay, one's better than none. So it's been difficult last few days. A lot of people, I think, maybe some dreary weather out here on my end, and just making you feel blue. But we got to keep our spirits up, and because if we're not going to fight the fight, who will? I mean, their children are counting on us, and we just like to try to keep things positive. I mean, I tell you, it's one hell of a day, and it's sometimes it's hard to do. I don't know what's making me so damn tired, because I got a lot of work I want to do in regards to the children's case, and make sure everything's included in whatever I'm submitting. I'm trying to help some other people that might want to get their stuff in. As far as what we're trying to do, it's a parent movement. Okay. A lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of you don't, but if you're interested in being involved with getting these judges that have committed these crimes in dependency courts arrested, which most likely it has happened, because it really is all about what didn't happen every time you went to court during your dependency case. So we're finding out a lot of people's rights were violated, and everyone, anytime any petition was filed in your case, you should have had a trial, and you should have been able to cross-examine your accusers, which in dependency cases, it's usually the caseworker or a casework supervisor, something like that. And this is what we were saying all along, even though we didn't know when this happened to us, we didn't know anything about, these dependency cases, how it worked. We didn't even know how the criminal court works because we never involved in it. Guess what? Because we're not criminals, okay? And so it's kind of difficult to learn the ways of the court when you've never been subject to having to be in one before. So come to find out, it's pretty disgusting that our courts, so many across the country, especially dealing with the family and breaking them apart. This is what the difference between family court and dependency is. Dependency is when your kids were taken by CPS, no matter if you're a single parent or a couple, and they just literally just take your children. So in the definition of kidnapping, that's what they're doing. They're kidnapping our children. They're our blood, they're our life, and that's all we live for. I know a lot of parents would say the same thing. I mean, we wouldn't be up here talking about this every night of the week if we didn't care. So, so here we are. And God dang, it seems like I've been getting like feverish too. I don't know what's happening with me. I've been like sleeping, but it's like it's not enough. I got to get some more sleep. Sleeping is good, but I think too much is not. So this is what we're trying to do is get. Oh, I did have a full day of doing things yesterday. I mean, I had probably, I'd say 45-minute walk, and then I cut my back lawn. That's another, add another 20 minutes onto that, and that's a little bit more of a workout. And I'm trying to get back in the swing of things because went to see Chris last weekend. Okay, so yeah, it's already coming up on the weekend again. I'm not going to be going out this weekend, so that's also, kind of depressing. But then again, it's getting caught up on arrest, getting caught up on some of this paperwork, and trying to help others spread the word about this parent movement that's happening. And I'm not talking about the thing. I know that they have something going on in DC, going down there, getting some things done, but that's great. That's good. Hopefully y'all can get some attention because it's never worked in the past. We can't get any media coverage, and it's really a pain in the butt. So I hope they're having a lot better time than it has been going on in the past. I mean, certain people know people. That's good. I think what we need to do is make sure that we're getting involved with the movements that can actually get our kids back. And that's what we're trying to do. Okay. First step is to get these judges arrested because they have committed crimes. Okay. Fourth Amendment. There's another one in there, the fourth and 14th or something like that. I don't have it in front of me. It's blah blah blah. You guys know the deal. In any case, I'm just gonna look up something because I was posting something yesterday I thought was kind of weird because I was on the radio. I've been hearing all this stuff on the radio, like these little commercials saying, about adoption and teens need to be adopted. And I think that's a little bit strange. So let me see if I can find what I did here. Let me see if I can find this. Oh, yeah, you guys hear about that other news? That the tragedy rocks Texas Sheriff's Office after 4 deputies die by suicide in 6 weeks. What's going on, guys? That was pretty disturbing. They must have a lot on their plate there. The other fun fact or not, you know what was I going to say? The number one what do you say, job, I wanted to use the other word, the number one job in the country, or number one profession that this happens, is doctors. Doctors have a lot going on, and it's very depressing. I mean, they've got to take care of people all day, and then the loss of things going on, and it's just some of these things we can't rightly say because YouTube wants to get excited about everything that comes out of our mouth. So we'll just take it easy on that subject. But I did want to find that. One thing I was telling you guys about, what is it? Okay, here it is. It's called Adopt US, Adopt US Children. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Oh, Adopt US Kids, kids with a K. Some people want to be a little particular about it and say, hey, a kid is a goat. It's a baby goat. I don't get that technical, but we know what they're talking about. They're talking about our children, okay? It's just okay, so this is disturbing to me, guys, okay? Because all in all, maybe this is an okay thing that's going on, but a lot of people don't realize where these children are coming from. Okay, they know they're coming from a foster care placement, but they don't have any idea how they got there, because if it's up to the caseworkers or something to let the adopted people know, they'll fill their mind with lies too about the parents and families and everything like that. Of course, they wouldn't want to let anybody know that they're just stealing kids to make money off of them. Hey, Fact Over Lies, thanks for joining, everybody. Thanks for joining. I'm so glad that I've got on. I was actually supposed to be on yesterday, and I literally just completely, I was running around. I had a doctor appointment yesterday, so which caused me to forget about it, even though the doctor appointment was earlier in the day. But in any case, okay, so teens and families. Thousands of teens in foster care are looking for love, support, and encouragement that families provide throughout their lives, not just until they turn 18. This year, more than 20,000 young people will leave foster care without a family. Many of them will not have anyone they can call for help, advice, for a ride when their car breaks down. It's disturbing, but probably not surprising that outcomes for youth who age out of foster care are often poor. Studies show that they are at increased risk for homelessness. No wonder, because the foster people are kicking them out when they turn 18. Don't they see? They're really contradicting themselves. It's a sad situation, guys. Yes, we know this. We know all this. But young parenthood, low education attainment, and high unemployment rates, and other adverse adult outcomes. The good news is that it only takes one person to improve the odds for a young person. If you think that person might be you, read on. And then it goes on to say, why should I adopt a teen? Are they really looking for a family? As we all know, you never outgrow the need for family. Okay, everyone needs a sense of belonging. Through adoption, older children are connected to a family that can provide sense of stability, lasting connections, and guidance with important life tasks, including enrolling in higher education, finding stability in housing, secure employment, and establishing healthy relationship. The thing is that this is what I want to say about this, because, okay, did y'all ever hear about this? In fact, I think I have that paper over here somewhere. Hear about this? It's like a nationwide. They have a nationwide thing and a thing for your state. How come I can't think of it? It's when your kids have been TPR'd, and that means the rights of the parents were terminated. And then when they turn 18, you're supposed to be able to find them through adoption registry. That's what it is. So this is what I'm thinking when I'm reading this article. Wouldn't it be better for these people that are running this Adopt US Kids? Wouldn't it be better for them? And maybe I might even get a hold of these guys and saying, okay, hello, do you realize that there's millions of parents out there that are trying to find their kids who have been in foster placements and then seem to disappear? So this is what I want to go on about, and maybe I can inform them that about the show and what we have going on here, because I mean, we're just a small group compared to what's going on across the US and all over the world for that matter. This is happening, and it's been happening since what, the 1920s, most likely. Things like this similar. It's, to me, it looks like it's been getting worse, but who knows? I wasn't living back then. It's like not a lot of people would talk about it. Not a lot of people. Nobody had internet back then, so I mean, it must have been more difficult to spread the word like we are doing now. And so nobody has no excuse not to know what's going on with these children that are being adopted out to strangers when you have perfectly good families sitting at home hoping that they're and praying that they're going to be back. And not only, mom and dad, I'm talking about siblings, grandparents, everything else. I mean, it's just disgusting. And to think that all these people, all these kids that have been gone through the system, they're not going to you're telling me they're going to have a problem finding a job. They're going to have trouble with everything. And that's why they're thrown into prostitution and things like this. And then you have like what is it, the senators and congressmen will say, oh, there'd be some type of accusation that they've been having sex with underage girls or guys, whatever the case might be. Well, the fact is that no, they're not prostitutes. They're victims of these child protective services. That's what I can say. They're victims. This is not what they are at all. Don't turn it around and make it look like they're the problem, because they are not the problem. They're the victims. And I get so tired of hearing that when you know news comes out. And what's important, that's what I'm wondering, is like some of this news that's coming out. This is why we have to have our CPS breaking news, because there is nobody else that's reporting on this. But they want to report on Joe Schmo from Kokomo, freaking cutting his backyard. Who knows? It doesn't make any sense. What does make sense is like that they have conditioned people into certain thinking that somehow the CPS is there to help, and when obviously they're not. And it's supposed to be this is what this was made for. But it's just so sad that a lot of parents struggle so much that they lose their will to live. And it's a sad situation. I mean, you see it time and time again. And people that are trying to expose it, then again, they're trying to just erase us off the face of the earth, let's say. Because I can see it happening in my life. I can see it happening in many others that have fought the fight. I mean, Nancy Schaefer, you want to bring that up? Because this is what I'm talking about. It's not mysterious to me when somebody ends up, in their house all of a sudden, they're gone, and with no explanation. Well, we have the explanation for that. I mean, we know too much. Apparently, we know too much. Now, what's going on? I gotta see. I'm sorry, I gotta move this over so I can see. FBI arrested a head tonight. A head night. What? Okay, so they arrested somebody that's one of the tops or something like that. What was that? Fact over lies. Um, Okay, Debbie, how's it going, Debbie? Sorry, I didn't see you there. Got done talking with my lawyer. He said the worker has been giving Chris great news. Oh, wow, that's really good. Great reviews, not news, great reviews. Well, that's good to know. I mean, like I say, there are some good attorneys out there. There are some good caseworkers, be it very few. And there's good probation officers. There's good police officers. They do exist, but it seems like it's coming to be far and in between, that we're finding the good ones out there, because it's so easily to be corrupted by others that you're working alongside with. And if you want to keep your job or not be a whistleblower, you kind of just go with the flow. And unfortunately, this is what caused this mess, across the country. In my opinion, is just if you, the thing is what they say, if you know, say something. Okay, it's a cartel. All right, good job. That's good. I mean, get rid of them. You do what's necessary. And the FBI was put there for a reason. And I can tell you, throughout the past over a decade, I'd say they have been failing. No, more than that. You guys know about all the failures of the FBI before I started paying attention. I mean, you've got Ruby Ridge, you got Waco, all that stuff. People are just trying to live their life, okay? Whatever, that's their business, okay? You're not going to come in there and actually, I always remember that. What was that? That Department of Justice lady, Janet Reno, at the time, when they're taking the tanks and they're knocking into that building. I mean, that's a sad situation. You don't know what's behind that building. Kids are in there. They know kids are in there, but still they're gonna put the smoke bombs and everything else to chase the people out when there's children in there. It's just disgusting. I mean, come on. We don't know anything about this, of those people. They think they know about us. And I have a problem with that too, is that nobody has ever asked us what our beliefs are. Okay. But then you're going to look at your paperwork from your dependency case or your criminal case, whatever the case may be. And, I'm reading things like, they they're saying, I believe this, I believe that, this is them, this is what they do. No, it's not. So just because you have a position that you're able to put in, I guess it's your opinion, or I don't know where they're getting this information, because it's not facts, right? Facts over lies. It is lies. Okay, it's lies is what they're saying about us. And this is what I've always tried to deal with, is the facts. The facts. And when we were going through the dependency case, my husband said to his court appointed attorney, I don't understand this. Why don't we just use facts and truth? It seems like that would be the best way to move forward. And she's like, facts and truth won't work here. You got to play their game. Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad Cash is not playing, and I'm hoping that he doesn't forget about us, the little people, because this is a terrible epidemic across the country. And if they the more they know, the more we're going to get help, I believe, because I think, they don't understand maybe the magnitude of the parents out here that are fighting to say, hey, hello, here we are. We want our family back. And it's not that we need more funding for Department of Children and Families, or we need more funding for adoption agencies and stuff like that, or these programs like Partnership for Strong Families and stuff like that. These Devereaux or anything like that. When we come to find out that they're harming children, that they're abusing them, sexually, physically, neglecting their everyday needs. I mean, I found out so much about my case that was in Dixie County after the fact that my rights were terminated, and then I saw my daughter in these deplorable conditions, and I attempted to help her out of that situation. In fact, she was begging me to take her out of there. And they didn't see it that way. They gave me a 24-month sentence followed by 3 years of probation. You know, me, I have no criminal record. How am I scoring out to go to prison? And what I'm learning is sometimes it doesn't matter. If the judge feels that you should be locked up, shoot, you're going to be locked up. And yeah, the judge a lot of times makes the discretion, even though, you know, you're not scoring out the points to go to prison. They don't care. They want you locked up, and that's the way they're going to do it. They want you shut up and lock up, shut up and lock up. That's all about it is. Okay. And a lot of people want to say that, you know, it is similar, like in prison, and it's what I was reminded of. But I've never been in the military, but you know, boot camp and stuff like that. It's very similar. You got people yelling at you. You got to do things a certain way. You're being screamed at and told what to do, and you know, you're getting your stuff stolen. You're getting somebody pissing on your bedding. I mean, it's just disgusting situations that people, you know, you don't know. I guess they do have some criminals in there, or are they just mentally challenged? Because I just don't see anybody normal doing and acting out the way my husband is describing these people acting out over there. Man, I hope so. I hope this Cash Patel is going to come through for us guys, because this FBI has been such a mess. It's been such a disaster, like year after year. And I really think that's why my husband has been targeted for so many years, is because he was always criticizing the work of the FBI. I mean, rightfully so. He was doing it since, gosh knows, the end of the 90s. He's going on, you know, letting people know, blah, blah, blah. They're letting them know that, hey, you know, if you did things a different way, why don't you listen to the top analysts? Why don't you listen to somebody who has experience and could help with these things, instead of hiring these idiots or whatever they're doing? I don't know what their criteria is. But obviously this is what where our country ended up, is FBI failing us over and over again. Because how many times have y'all called the FBI to say, hey, hello, my children have been you know, kidnapped by Department of Children and Families, and all this is going on. We have been falsely arrested, and whatever you've been calling up and telling them. But eventually you're going to say, oh, maybe once or twice you might get through to somebody acting like they're gonna you know, forward this information on. And then when you try to call back again, guess what happens? Oh, you're a repeat caller, or you get a recording saying, you have been advised not to call the FBI. This call will be disconnected. Brenda. Hey, Danielle, come on. You can come on in here with me. I don't mind. She wants to blame me for not being on the late night show. I did try to call you back a half hour later, Danielle. I see what you're saying. I seen what you're saying Brenda wasn't there. Now, come on. I was there. For some reason, I swear to God, I was there. I was actually waiting for you the other night. That was a couple of nights ago. But like I said, I should be plenty of rested up for a late night show tonight, Danielle, because I've got darn sleeping all damn day. Let me see. Anyone have friends and relatives that are in that area? Beware. What do you mean? U.S. Marshal. Now I can't see it because it's right over that little symbol of breaking news. Got me in 2011. Oh, yeah, the U.S. Marshals is another one. Thank you, Danielle. Because I had the U.S. Marshals coming knocking on my door one day. I had a lawsuit against. This was long before the kids were taken. My two youngest were pretty little, and this postal worker was acting nuts. I guess she was going postal or whatever, but she was doing things like literally we get sopping wet mail in our mailbox, and it hadn't been raining, and just like spinning her wheels and digging up our front lawn, and all kinds of stuff was going on. Finally, we decided I'm going to write this up in a small claim or something like that. Then I have the U.S. Marshals knocking on my door saying and questioning me about the way I worded the stuff that I turned into the court. Wow. Can I do anything without you jumping down my throat or knocking on my door constantly? Like, I swear to God, every time I had something going on, and especially that was in Maine, but we had Florida move fast forward. I mean, they were knocking on my door for every situation. Oh, guess what? Even though your husband's never been at this building, he's trespassed from there. I'm like, okay, do you have something in writing? Hey, are we
What the
done?
hell's going on? Ooh, sorry
I
about that. The man got us.
tell you, see, it's like again, it's Big Brother. He's coming in there.
Hey, Brenda, can I interrupt you for a minute?
Yes, go ahead.
So we got Sylvia Beachy on the Tiffin Punisher show tonight at 7:15.
Who is she now?
She used to be a caseworker turned rogue, and now she's like a big time in the fight person. She's got a lot of mainstream stuff, so we need everybody's support tonight. If they don't mind watching, it would be
Okay,
really,
what
it would be
what time
cool.
is that going to be, Darren?
7:15 Eastern time.
Okay, all right, 7:15, guys. Be there, be square. That sounds like a good one.
Yeah,
Um,
do your research on her. She's really a great person. We should probably try to get her on your show too, and Danielle's.
Tell me your
I
name one
am
more
Danielle.
time.
I am
One more time.
Sylvia
Okay.
Beachy, like Beachy.
Okay. All right. I still like. I'll put that. I'll put my notes somewhere. I'll never be able to find it. Thanks,
Stick it
though.
right to your forehead.
7:15. Okay, Danielle. Thank you. All right. So they surround my house in Florida, and I didn't hear them. Nothing. They watched me for a week or two across the street. Oh yeah, they'll watch you. I swear to God, that did happen to us. Even we noticed that starting when we were living in Maine. My son was he'd walk up to the bus area, like, and take the it was the town bus or whatever, the city bus. He'd take it up to college. He's going through pre-med, and he swear to God, he said like I don't know how many times he said the cops are just rolling along as he's walking, like stalking him. It's ridiculous. It's like unbelievable because they put these false tags on people, but apparently I don't know if they tag it to your license plate or something like that, or maybe just your address or whatever. So they don't know who they're supposed to be looking at. So they just start looking at everybody that lives in that house, that they feel that everybody's in that house is a threat. What they believed was a threat was my husband's entertainment on YouTube. Okay. That's all he does. Okay. He's a nerd that likes to make movies and wouldn't harm a fly, but they wanted to twist that around. Um, I swear to God, in Florida, yeah, I'm sure. I'm telling you, I have a real problem with Florida because my life was pretty cheeky. I tell you, before I moved there. New Hampshire, I didn't have any problems. I homeschooled my kids. All I had to do was go down to the local board of education and say, okay, I'm homeschooling my kids. A lot of times they'll give you heads up about the elementary school or whatever happens to be high school, and they will actually provide books and consumable notebooks and stuff like that to teach your children. And then you just turn in the books at the end of the year. Some places are so great for homeschoolers, and then you have others that are like, oh, you have to come in here, you got to take your test, and if you want to Yeah, that was really messed up. That's right before my kids were taken. I can tell you, I was getting a call from Department of Education. You know why? Because the sheriff's son was in my house, stealing the bids on the state-run program that are supposed to help people fix up and weatherize their home, but what they're really doing is spying on us. Seeing how, oh, we're so interested in how you're freaking homeschooling your kids. Why don't you get out of my house, you freaking retards? Oh, sorry. Is that a word you're not supposed to say anymore? Sorry, I don't mean to put down the mentally challenged, but that's just a slang, I would say, for somebody that's acting stupid. Right, CPS can protect SWAT. Oh, you didn't get started on that, Danielle. That's a good one. Okay, all right, we're putting that one down. We're gonna make a shirt like that, Darren. Okay, that's what CPS stands for. Can't protect squat. Okay, very good. Okay, A plus, Danielle. I'm grading your paper now. All right, that's good. All right, I'm writing that one down too. All right, I'm writing them on a thing that's like stickers. Okay, so I'm gonna stick this. I'm gonna eventually stick this somewhere, and maybe on top of a notebook. That's why I don't know. When I came back from prison, somebody had gotten something where they were doing all these labels thing. So it's been very helpful for me to put my stuff in a folder. Sometimes I take it and bend it back so that when I go through my files, slowly but surely getting this done, guys. And like I say, some of us have more paperwork going on than others. If you don't have it on your paperwork, sometimes for me, like I say, when I'm working on something, it's really better for me to write it out by hand, okay? Because that's when, actually back when I did my appeals for the children's case, I did it all by hand. And I did it very neatly too, because it's like I'm putting up this to the higher court, and I did it all by hand. That was just the easiest way for me at that time. But now it's just like so much easier. So what I do is I'll write it out, and then I'll pick up my phone and I'll press the freaking microphone and I'll put it in the email and just read off whatever I wrote down, and it's pretty much going to correct your word spelling and everything else. You don't have to look up every darn word. Any case, what else is going on, guys? I'm wondering if I could slide this up here. No, I'm trying to see if there's any more comments I missed. All right, but yeah, that sounds like we've had some good shows going on. A couple nights ago, that was a good show too. Even though I didn't get much chance to talk on there, the boys want to take up all the time. That's okay. I had my chance to talk. I missed my show yesterday. I don't know what the heck was going on there. Sorry about that, guys. But I should be available tomorrow at 3 Eastern. There shouldn't be a problem there, like I said. And one of these days, me and Danielle are going to get together and do another late night show. She's had some awesome shows lately. I mean, she's got a lot of news going on, and there's a lot of excitement going on. And it's been very informative. Thank you, Danielle. Unlike my shows are not very informative. But like I say, watch out for these places and these adoption places and stuff like that. Because truly, maybe sometimes these are good places that are trying to help kids, but they don't realize that these kids are being abused in these situations, and it's not the biological parents. So I think if somebody's going through one of these things and saying, okay, kids are aging out of foster care, well, why don't we do our darndest to get and find their biological families and seeing if we can help them get back to them if that's what they desire. That would be fabulous. I mean, that would solve a lot of issues going on in this country, because these children are being actively trafficked, and it's not just the illegal migrants going on. It's a sad situation, and it's sick and it's sickening what's happening in Department of Children and Families and these institutions that they're throwing the children into. I mean, went on, I'm sure before, about these sheriff ranches. That's very curious to me, guys. Okay. That they have these all boy ranches or all girl ranches. Okay, the ranch, to me, a ranch is where you're farming some animals. Isn't that a ranch to you guys? Wow. But instead of being animals, there are kids. Okay, Danielle, I'm gonna have to wait till that freaking thing flips up because it's blocking out her thing because of that CPS signal. I can't see it. In fact, I should have put it on my phone. My next show is going something about. See, I can't see the whole thing. It's gonna bother me. Okay, where did I put my phone, guys? I have literally have gone nowhere, and I can't find my phone. It's on the floor. How did that happen? You tell me, guys. I have no idea. All right, I'm gonna go on my phone to see what Danielle was putting into the chat because it's gonna be easier to see here. Or is it? Let me see. All right. Okay. Well, it's not, my chat isn't caught up here. I wonder why. That's weird. Huh. Any case, I'll be able to notice your thing in a minute. Okay. And Danielle says, and things that strain it, real story facts, because it will be a true story. Okay. Oh, this is where it says, okay, I can see it now. My next show is going to be about CPS can cause so much strain on a family bond. Oh, that is so true, Danielle. I'm proof of that too as well. I mean, you have to be very strong. You have to have a very strong constitution or whatever to survive this. Yeah, the weak will not survive. That is so true. I mean, and things that strain it. Yeah. And okay. Yeah. Okay, so that makes more sense now. And the things that strain it, real story, real facts. It could cause a true story. Yeah, I could do that with you, Danielle, because it's so true. That's what I was thinking about. How my older children have distanced themselves from all our family. My middle son. To me, that makes no sense at all. It doesn't make sense. Because I always thought, well, was it something me and my husband did that they want to distance themselves or whatever? Which I think, we've always been quite politically active from, young on. I mean, we had our children pretty young, our oldest ones, and we've always been, wanting to change, the wrong things that are going on in the country long before our children were taken. So yeah, if there was something going on in DC, we'd be down there with our signs, especially when I remember when Clinton, all that stuff was going on with President Clinton, and we went down. That's where we were living outside of Cleveland then. We went down to Cleveland. We heard he was coming through in a motorcade. All these people out there with signs. And we made the newspaper that day. It said that's when my middle son was just probably about 7 years old. He's holding up a sign saying impeach the creep. That was a famous one. It got in the newspaper. And there was another one that they said in that newspaper too. I can't remember, but the thing is we used to do everything as family, family things. It was like family time for us. We homeschool our kids. Hey, kids, we're going out to DC. We're not only gonna see the sights, but we're gonna be involved with whatever was going on there at the time. We didn't know with WTO, World Trade Center Organization. No, we had no interest in whatever that meant, but hey, we were there and wanted to be a part. That's when we've got some footage of that actually. It was weird because it was on, what was it on? Oh, I think it was MSNBC or something. We seen it on the news later after we got home, and we were living in Maine at the time. And you can definitely see Chris. I've got a few pictures of it now, but he's walking with a white flag, mind you. He's got a dark coat on, and on this side of him is a bunch of protesters that were going down like this. They were down on the ground going like this, and on the other side was a whole line of cops, and the barriers were all like messed up, and they not only had pepper spray, I'm talking about fire extinguishers full of pepper spray. And all you see is Chris coming through this big cloud of pepper spray. And oh my God, I remember because the two older ones were, my oldest one was getting, taking some film of that. And then Chris wanted me, and the little kids weren't even around then. That was way before they were born. And he told me and my middle son, he's like, okay, you stay with mom. This is going to be too dangerous down there. And finally, one of my older kids came and got us. They're like, oh my gosh, dad got pepper sprayed and all this and that. And apparently he had jumped into the fountain. There was a fountain over there trying to get that. I guess people go around with, there are people prepared for this type of thing. They're going around with milk, somehow rinsing your eyes out with milk or something. It really takes the sting out. Chris's eyes were never the same after that. It was very, very powerful stuff, man. All right, what's going on, Jonathan? Thank you for joining. I just found out that something manipulated, like, again, I can't see that word because that's stupid breaking news little circle. I'm sorry, Darren, it's bothering me. With my daughter and her status on immigration, and that is messing up my Ontario works and why they are asking about my kid's status. Oh, huh. Interesting. Over a decade, Daniel says, and family like mine protected my kids in my life, and my mother passing away unexpectedly came to the darkness, isolation, lies, trauma, tore my family apart. Yeah, because the thing is that that's what I was thinking about the other day, Danielle, is like my sister, for instance. Because there was a whole thing when my mom passed away. I never really got into that story, but it's weird how my family acted because I wasn't living at home. I wasn't like living in Ohio anymore. And my mom passed away and we were living in Maine. And literally, I was told by my dad that if my husband was coming with me to the funeral, that I wasn't welcome. I'm like, wow, Chris is my family. I've got, at that point, Sage was just a baby. I had, 4 kids. The 2 oldest were in college. I was like, they're ready to send me a ticket or get me a ticket, an airplane to go. I said, oh, well, it'd just be me, Chris, Sage, and my son Hawk, of course. And then pretty much she's calling me back saying, no, Dad says he doesn't want to see Chris. Why? My mom loved Chris. She was the only one that supported our relationship throughout that whole entire time. And yeah, I really felt bad about that for so many years. And then I had this really weird dream. Like, it was like it changed my whole life. It was years later. It was after the kids were taken. Like I said, Sage was just a baby when that happened. Sage was taken when she was 12. And one night I was in a motel because Chris had already gone off to Louisiana to find a house because we were moving to Louisiana out of Florida. God forbid we didn't want to be arrested another time. But it was hard moving away knowing my kids were still in Florida. It was very difficult. But I was working on my appeal on my own because the court-appointed attorney that was supposed to work on my appeal after probably a month and a half said, oh, I don't see anything appealable. Lord, thanks. Chris's appeal was already turned in by that point. But in any case, long story short, I had this dream. It was staying in this like really old school motel. It was like, maybe it had ghosts in it or something. It was like really old motel. And I was getting a great deal from this girl. Letting me stay there for dirt cheap. I can tell you that. And I was up in this corner room, and I had my car parked up. I had it all packed up. I was ready to go because Chris was like, I found a house. Come on down. And I had the car packed up in the morning, and then I had this dream. I never dream about my mom, okay? And in this dream, like, she's like, Brenda, it's time to check out. I'm like, Mom, time to check out? It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. It's not time to check out. And Then she kisses me and hugs me, and I wake up. I swear to God, guys, I had tears rolling down my face. I was shivering. I was shaking. I was just like, I never had any dream that impacted me more than that. And then in my thought, in my head, it meant, to me, oh, that's what else she said. She said, Brenda, it's okay. And by her saying that in the dream, it just made me realize that she knows it's okay because, I didn't show up for the funeral because of this other stuff. And she knows that, I would have done anything for her, absolutely anything. And she just gave me a sign like she was the one checking out, I think. Like it's been in limbo all that time or something like that. I don't know. But I felt, yeah, that was some freaking dream. I was like, well, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. How am I going to go back to sleep now? And I did not go back to sleep. I was in that same town where the courthouse was. In fact, the courthouse wasn't far from that motel where I had that dream. The courthouse that freaking ruined my life. Okay, Jonathan, what's going on? I just found out that manipulated something with my daughter and her status in immigration that was messing up. Okay, see, I can read it better now. When it scrolls down, I can read it better. Sorry, guys. Man. Wow. Yeah. Why do they need to know about what's going on with their kids? Leave me alone and leave my children alone. That's it. Period. Real people, real families, real children, true stories going through unimaginable pain, trying to navigate through a system meant to help, not to hurt families, a system that is broken. So true, guys. So okay, those guys' show is at 7:15. We know that. We don't want to run into Danielle. Are you going to be doing a show? Did I miss that little thing about when you're going to be doing your show? You could do this after mine, I guess. I was late coming in, so what is it? For me, it's almost 4. For you guys, it's almost 5. And I was kind of disappointed. I was going to talk to Rick the other day, and that didn't work out. So sorry to say. I mean, this is something you want to do on the WebEx. And I can understand because I mean, I don't feel comfortable talking to my phone about certain things because I know my phone is compromised. They can't get enough of hanging on, God forbid, my every word. And what's Brenda doing now? What's Brenda thinking? They think they know what I'm thinking. This is like this. I swear to God, some of the paperwork I had from the kid's case is like, oh, this is what they believe and this is what they think. Really? How do you know that? I never told you that. So where are you getting your ideas from? Satan himself, most likely. They also have been behind provoking the bullying to bully my daughter before she started Port Credit School. So I'm not sure that they have decided to target her and me because they couldn't target your son. Interesting. Yeah, it's kind of strange because my daughter that has autism, she's like very particular. Yeah, Danielle, we can do late night, no problem. Not too late, like not after 2 your time. Like we can end it around 2 your time. That should work out for me. But to get back to it, it's like my daughter knows if somebody's like making fun of her or whatever. Oh Lord, she's like she would be so worked up about that. She you couldn't even hear what they're saying, but just by the look on their face, they're pieces of crap little kids or something or somebody else that had been messing with her. And she can sense that autistic children can sense bad people. I mean, we'd walk through a mall and she'd say hi to everybody walking along, and one person would go by and say hi to her, and she'd be just looking at them like, what the fuck, Yeah, they have really good senses of good and bad. And I can tell you again, I'm going to tell you this dream one more time that my daughter told me about. She said, Mom, I had a dream about Jason Katz. He was the casework supervisor, the one that continued to lie throughout my case and still continues to stalk and bully us. Um, in any case, she says, I was dreaming that the Grinch was chasing me. And I was running, and I was so scared. I kept running, and finally the Grinch caught up to me, and it wasn't the Grinch at all. It was chasing cats. I was like, whoa, that's pretty ironic um, since they stole all of your Christmases away. Interesting. Yeah, I believe there's, and even if you go back to the Bible, I mean, some of these stories about the dreams and King Solomon and all that, how they prophesized all kinds of things that were going on. There are certain people that have those abilities, and I really believe in that. I believe that for sure. There's certain people that have I don't know, a sixth sense or sick sense or whatever. No, but yeah, exactly. That is so true, Jonathan. I believe it. Yep. Yeah. Oh, I swear I haven't trusted my phones in years, but especially like when my husband's about to go to trial and then all my call history is erased. It's like, does anybody see that as a problem besides me? Hello, like I'm trying to relay this to attorneys. Is that not helpful to you? Is that, jeez, criminy. I mean, that's never happened to me before in my life. They have my whole call history erased. Why? Because the judge that feels like she's a victim in my husband's case that got him 15 years for a cartoon, she and the prosecutor wanted to say that my husband was calling her office over and over again. Well, the only way they can maybe get away with that is by erasing my call history, because that would prove that no, we weren't calling over and over again, me or him. And why would I be calling in Dixie County? They're the problem in the first place. I know I'm not going to get any answers or anything from them. I think Chris was initially he was trying to do a little reporting, a little news interview with the judge, and that's all what it was. And then the judicial assistant wanted to blow things out of proportion, I guess. She was up on the stand on Chris's case. I'm just wondering why that lady from Florida Department of Law Enforcement didn't throw her hat in the ring. I seen she was there, but she didn't want to get up there and say, okay, well, she recognizes my husband's voice on a cartoon. Yes, so what? So what? It's a film. It's not real. It's a cartoon. I mean, it makes no sense at all. But in any case, so you know my husband's voice because you freaking interrogated him in 2016 after our children were taken, and then he was interrogated, and whatever you were interrogating him about come out to be completely drawn up freaking accusations that never panned out for you. And now after all these years, even though you still have my kids somewhere, God knows where, and somehow you're not done with us. You haven't ruined our life enough that you want to have my husband taken away from me. How does that leave me? Okay. Or are you thinking, oh, you're so scared you can't live your life unless you know my husband's locked up? How is that working out for me, guys? Nobody's thinking about that in the courtroom, but what's going to go on with Brenda or Chris being locked away from each other once more. It seems like it's happened all our life. I swear to God. To have know somebody like since you were like teenagers, and then to have like constantly. My dad was another one that like didn't never supported our relationship again. Just like constantly trying to tear us apart one way or the other. But just like I fight to keep my husband and keep our relationship together, as I'll have to continue to fight for my children until I get them back. Oh, Jonathan, you've been having deja vu. Very wonderful. I love that. Yeah, it's been happening to me too. That's what I said. I swear to God, I could watch a movie, and my husband keeps saying, Brenda, this just came out. This is a brand new show. I said, well, geez, crime, and I can tell you what's going to happen. I've seen this. I don't know if I've seen it in my dreams or where I've seen it, but I know I've seen this before. And he's trying to tell me I haven't, but he believes in that too. He believes in that, all of that. Yeah, he's in fact, my husband would say he and God have a little thing going on where he's been controlling weather for this past year. Yeah, in fact, it was a year yesterday. My husband was arrested, all y'all, and yeah, and can you see the weather ever since my husband's been locked up? I swear to God, right where the judges lived and stuff like that. That was right there in Florida. Perry got hit really hard over there in the Panhandle. I think, I don't know what you call it over there. They were getting blasted go over again. You got the fires burning in California. You got and everything they say is well, not only catastrophic it was like historic events were happening, like, oh, this never happened before in history, or this hasn't happened for since 18 something or other. The tornadoes, all this other shit. So my husband's got a little plan going on with God above that this earth will be wiped off any existence if he's not released out of there. Things or in our children set free. Because, and that's what we keep saying, is that, like, don't y'all think things will go a lot better for this country if our children were released? I think so, because God knows the truth, guys. And if you believe in God, if you don't, whatever your higher power is, I mean, something's going to give, and it's just not going to end on a bad note. I have a feeling that all this stuff is going to be exposed, and there are good people, and there's more good people out there that realize what's going on with these children, and who in the world would want to harm children but some sick individuals that have nothing better to do than be sick and perverted and harm children. It's just disgusting. It makes you sick to your stomach. And on that note, I just want to say that I was reading in my discoveries again with my Charlotte County case of what different things my daughter said during this neuropsychological evaluation. They were asking her if she missed her parents or whatever. And she just said, I feel empty inside. And I thought, wow, doesn't that really sum it up? I mean, if my daughter could put words into what I was feeling, she was the one that put those words in there. I thought, wow, that is so true. I couldn't figure it out. It almost like I had this feeling in my gut. It's just like you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't, whatever you do, it's just like nothing makes you feel better. And it's true. It's just like you feel empty inside because, your kids are not there. You have no idea what's going on with them. In a lot of cases, that's in mine in particular. Some of you guys know what's going on with your kids, and that's great. Hopefully, things won't go from bad to worse. It's definitely, I'm so glad that there's so many people that have knowledge of what these people are capable of. Now we can put that armor on, and not only put on the armor like they always talk about that in the Bible. You got to put on your armor of Christ. You have your breastplate, and you got your all these different pieces. My oldest son's named Sword because my husband did not want to give him a traditional name, and it's named because he is your protector. He's not named after the weapon. He's named after the verses used so much in the Bible with the name sword. And but yeah, I would like to heal all my family, to tell you the truth, because I think if my kids back, get my young kids back, and then we'll take a trip down there and see what's going on with my older two, and say, hey, what's up? Because I still love them. I miss them, and I feel bad not being able to talk to them. I have a little grandson that I've never met or seen at all, And it's a sad situation that CPS and the corrupt judges in the dependency courts want to take and destroy people's livelihood. They're not just destroying the parents, they're destroying the children, and they're destroying their entire family, because it's tearing us apart. Isn't there a movie like that, Jonathan? It's tearing me apart. You know it is. All right. So since I came in late today, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up, Darren. I'm gonna wrap it up because, like I say, I'm behind because I freaking got all this shit stuff going on, and I'm going to wrap it up. It is about time I do. So I think I'm really thankful for y'all that come in the chat, because then it gives me the motivation to keep on going and keep on yapping, and not be the only one with thoughts. All right. Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, Debbie. Thanks, Danielle. Everybody that joined in. All right. All right, you guys, don't forget, Darren says there's going to be an awesome show later with Sylvia Blanchard or something like this. I didn't really get the spelling. But that's going to be one for the books. Okay, guys, there's some good shows being popped out there, so keep in tune. Tune in. Tune in. All right. Come on, guys.
She'll fight back. She will prevail. Brenda, keep on rising high through the tears under troubled sky. Life ain't easy, the road's so rough, but love is stronger, love's enough. Empty rooms, memories linger there, echoes of laughter, whispers of care. She plants hope in each day's light. In the darkest hours, she finds her fight. Neighbors pass, they cast their glance. Whispers say she don't stand a chance. But Brenda's dreams, they never fade. In her eyes, the dawn's parade. Sun will shine through clouds and rain. She'll mend the broken, salve the pain. For every loss, there's a new gain. Through every downfall, she'll remain. Sun will shine through clouds and rain. She'll mend the broken, salve the pain. For every loss, there's a new gain. Through every downfall, she'll remain. Sun will shine through clouds and rain. She'll mend the broken, salve the pain. For every loss, there's a new gain. Through every downfall, she'll remain. Sitting by the window pane, lost her husband, lost her name. Government's hands, they took